Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my patrons and subscribers, welcome my baby dinosaurs. And so for today's video, we're going to be talking about voter suppression, the Voting Rights Act for John Lewis, and to extending the 1965 Voter Rights Act. And also we'll be talking about the Republicans are trying to suppress voters from voting because their president lost in the 2020 election. So we'll be taking a deep dive into a lot of topic today. Just remember this choice is from New York Times, so I'll put that in the link below. Also, you can look in the description. I will tell you what questions I'll be covering in the video. Definitely stay for the end though, because we do have a card here picked by the Divine for the angelic side. So if you want to hear your message towards the end of the video, definitely go watch the whole entire video and then you'll get your message at the end. All right, so we have a lot to cover. This is being recorded March 5th, 2021 at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am so happy we put out the information about March 4th and it did not come to fruition. So yay for all of us. We did it. We sent it love and light. It's the month of March is unfortunately not over, but we have made it past one of the conspiracy theories on March 4th. So thank God nothing happened, and we're very glad that the senators are safe, and so are the representatives that you guys have elected. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into this. All right, so disclaimer, all information I give during this recording is simply my intuition, my understanding, and download of information from the higher power. Please also note that this is just for entertainment purposes only and education purposes only as well. All right, so let's talk briefly about everything with the notification. I'm just going to briefly go through them very quickly, and then I'm going to jump into the education portion so I can educate you and enlighten you on the topic of voter suppression and this kind of background knowledge, so you guys get a little understanding so you don't have to go do your research elsewhere. So, notification issue, I'm going to go over that in a little bit. In terms of the channel future, we'll be keeping it pretty much political. I'll be working and collaborating with potentially other YouTubers as well. I am indeed considering opening up a separate channel to do angelic readings. I'll also be doing angelic readings on here as well for you guys. But I'll be doing a separate reading where I pick your card, and it's no political, just fun content that you guys can watch as well. If you're interested, of course, in that, let me know in the comments below. In terms of sharing content, definitely recommend it. It's a great way to get the message out about what we do here so that people can experience our loving community. In terms of emails and comments, I will definitely getting back to you guys as soon as possible. I'm so sorry for the delay. I am a little backed up a little bit, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. Expect if you have commented within the last 30 days, expect a response within the next 48 hours. In terms of ad issue, I know a lot of you guys have been saying that a lot of YouTube has been putting an extreme amount of ads on my videos. Part of that is that YouTube wants money. There's not much I can do in that aspect. Also, this is my only way of revenue, so to speak. I am really sorry, and I do sincerely apologize for this. However, there's not much that I can do at this time, as I am probably most likely in a lot of debt due to the unemployment benefits. So I hope you do understand, but I kind of need to pay this money or I'm going to federal prison. So I hope that that helps a little bit, because I don't have a stable job. And so this is my only some sort of stability. I only make $25 probably per month, if that, even sometimes even 10. You know, I only get like $1 or less per video that I upload. So most of the time it's just 50 cents. But still, 50 cents is better than zero, right? And so anyway, this is what they said with the notification. It's possible that they are not actually subscribed to the channel but are confused by recommended video notifications, or the bell icon setting is set to personalized rather than all notification. This reset, if they unsubscribe and resubscribe, it is also possible that the greater YouTube notification settings are set to none for channel notification if they aren't logged in. Another reason that it could be that the device level notification settings are overriding the YouTube settings. All right, so let's jump into the actual education portion. It's only going to be 3 seconds. Promise me, please stay to the end of the video. This is going to be one of the most important videos of your lifetime. Share with other people. I promise you, it's very educational. All right, so A little background knowledge: Republicans created the largest amount of voter suppression bills since 1965 this year alone. 253 restrictive bills in 43 states to be exact. On account, the course of the Supreme Court is most likely to back the voter suppression, what's mean that it's lean conservative basically. Targeting state restriction, the House passes a landmark voting rights expansion bill. However, it faces an upclimb hill in the Senate. The most significant enhancement of federal voting protection since the 1960s, if it became law. It aims to impose new national requirements, weaken restrictive state voter ID laws, mandates automatic voter registration, expand early and mail-in voting, make it harder to purge voter rolls, and restore voting rights to former felons. Changes that studies suggest would increase voter participation, especially among racial minorities. It is supported by President Biden. It appears to be doomed now in the Senate, where Republican opposition will make it all but impossible to draw the 60 votes needed to advance. Democratic leaders have vowed to put it up for a vote anyway, and progressives were already plotting to use the Republican obstruction of the bill to build their case for jettisoning the legislative filibuster in the month ahead. H.R. 1 by Democrats to reflect the importance of the agenda would also eliminate partisan gerrymandering, impose new transparency on dark money used to finance campaigns, tighten government ethics standards, and create a public financing option for congressional campaigns. Republican reasoning, as shifting demographic and political coalitions have led Republicans to conclude that they benefit from lower voter participation rates, particularly around the cities. This bill was drafted by and is honoring the late Representative John Lewis, the Georgia Democrat and civil rights icon who died last year. New York Times. So this is an article by the New York Times. I just took the information, condensed it to the important parts that you guys need to know. If you want to read more on this, you can find the link in the description below. All right, so again, if you want to know what kind of question I'm covering, you can also find that in the description. All right, so will the Supreme Court rule in favor of Arizona voter suppression bill to overturn a free and fair election if it does not elect the party in power again? So let's take a look. Spears and Ansel tell me, will the Supreme Court, as it currently stands today, will they side with the Arizona voter suppression bill to allow them to overturn any election result if it does not fit the party's advantage? Interesting. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so it feels like a decision will not be made by the Supreme Court. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles. Something's being stopped, like the motion is being stopped in some particular order or fashion. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. This is up for grab right now. It's been voted in the House of Arizona. I'm not sure about the Senate, but I'm positive both are owned by the Republicans. But you can fact check me, and I could be wrong. Oh, we have here as well. We have the Forest Series, what this tells me, and that is the political agenda is to not ensure that the GOP hold on to the state of Arizona in future elections. What we have here is Biden and Kamala coming in. So this is the Biden and Kamala coming in, right? And there's some sort of deal, and I feel like this is going towards the Supreme Court. Like it's almost like information going to come out about like one of the Supreme Court judges that's going to force them to resign. And then Biden's going to have to put in another nominee. It may actually end up slowing the process down in the Supreme Court. What we have here is a happy election. Like, this is all about the election and the minority voters, and this is the happiest card in the deck. It tells me that they won't make a final decision because of the partisan divide, and therefore justice will rule in the Democrats' favor. Interesting. This is not what I expected from the Supreme Court that leans 6 conservative to 3 liberal. So that's just interesting to say the least. Now, maybe this could be one of the bills trying to pass through court packing, which is something that is completely legal and has been done over the years. So this is not something that, the Democrats have been doing recently. This has been something done since the beginning. Like when we first started off at the country, we only had two judges, and then we ended up with 9. So it is pretty significant. Now, the next question that we're going to be covering in this video is, will this cause major nationwide protests across the nation for or against voter suppression bill? Spirit Saints will tell me about this. Okay, so it feels like it's going to happen, and it's not going to be on the Democrats' favor. It feels like they don't have the power or the strength to pass it in the Senate, because they need 60 votes to pass it without make it filibuster proof, right? We have here the fall. The Democrats are unable to pass it, but however, it's going to hurt the Republicans in some particular fashion. We have here Kamala Harris as a deciding factor. She will decide something, right? And it's because the Democrats have a very slim majority, very slim, in fact. And if you guys watched my previous video when I talked about in part 1 of Biden's first 100 days and the thing that he wants to do, I talked about voter registration and him wanting to pass the 1965 Act extension bill for John Lewis. And I said that for some reason Kamala Harris is a tiebreaker. And it feels like, this is something that they need to get done. And the reason why they need to get this thing done is because they have 2 years. If they don't do this in 2 years, they will no longer be in power in the Congress, in both the House or the Senate in the future. Because they will gerrymander it so much so that the Democrats will never have a majority again, which means that a Republican president can always have unlimited power. There will be no checks and balances. So this needs to get passed, and this needs to get passed ASAP. So this is why this is very important. So definitely send this love and light. We do have here, again, it's not going to pass the first time. I feel like this is something that they're going to do continuously to try to get it to pass into law. So what power will the Civil Rights Act of 1965 have moving forward? So the only way that we can kind of get a grab and an idea of what's really happening around this particular question and topic is we kind of need to delve into what is the main purpose of the Civil Rights Act. Right now, the Supreme Court is trying to weaken it, and weaken its strength and ability to allow people who are minorities to vote. Okay, so what is the power as of right now with the Civil Rights Act of 1965? Spirits and Angels tell me, what is the future of the power of the 1965 Voting Rights Act? Will it be stronger and strengthened, or will it be weakened? What is the future of that? Okay. Oh. Okay. Again, Biden coming in. He's going to do something. Biden's going to do something. We have here, again, we have the Voter Rights Act, the 1965 Voter Rights Act is coming in, and it's about to say something. Like, it almost feels like a hold on just barely, right? You could kind of see the two different political divide. You can see, like, this is the Republican, and this is the Democrats, right? It kind of looks more like the city. It kind of looks more like the southern border. And we do have here as well, we have the moon. This information not been something surprise. It's something that's been well known that Republicans do on a continuous basis. However, the secret plan is not going to work, and it's going to fail. And it's going to fail big time. We have here as well as in the future here. Now, we have to manifest this into our reality. We have here a decision going to be made very soon about this and the strength and the power of the 1965 Act. What it needs is bipartisan support. Because you won't have a democratic election without this. It's just not a democracy if people are being suppressed. In every other democracy around the globe, people are not being suppressed. Only in countries where a dictator is present, a rogue leader, right? America should not be that type of country, but then again, it is. And it's partly because we elected the wrong people at the wrong time, and because of it, they maintain power. We have here judgment is going to reign. It's still something's going to happen with the Supreme Court. I've been talking about this. The Supreme Court is going to see 5 Supreme Court justices step down. I feel like the there could be something here that's happening, right? Also with the spiritual awakenings, could be the uprising that this may cause. We do have here again Biden coming in to save the day in some particular fashion or way. They won't have to vote though. They won't have to vote to pass an ascension because of the corruption of the government. Again, it's because their incumbent party, the GOP incumbent president, lost the re-election bid. And because of it, the betrayal of the GOP is about to be seen. So, just expect something big to happen. There won't be a happy party for both the Democrats or the Republicans, but something big is coming. All right. Will voter suppression become a massive issue in 2024 and the final presidential result? And so the reason why I'm asking this particularly is I want to know is, I said this, and a lot of people are wrong for telling you guys that, the Republican can't win in the 2024 election. And the reason why I'm saying that is partly because, I saw a Democrat win in 2024. That's not without a doubt. However, I saw that there will be some sort of either like foreign interference, voter suppression, or something like that. And you can even go back to that video too, as well. Like, I talked about will the Democrats hold on to the presidency for 3 terms? That equates to 12 years. The question that remains is, will there anything that disrupts that ability to maintain that streak? Well, that's the question. This is the question here. This is why this is so important. Because Trump can win. All he needs is just 1% of voters in Wisconsin, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Arizona. And guess what? The House gets thrown to, the election gets thrown into the House, and the House decides it's most likely going to be Republican, and will decide Trump as the winner. That's all that Trump needs. He does not need 270. He needs 269. And that's why that is extremely important. All right, so will voter suppression become a massive issue in 2024? And the final presidential result will become a massive issue and will affect the final outcome of the presidential result in 2024. Can I take that card? All right, so they told me to put it at the bottom of the deck. All right, what else do we need to know, Spirits and Angels? Tommy, will voter suppression affect the 2024 presidential results and will it become a massive issue? Okay, so we have president here. All right, what do we need to know about this? What about this president that we need to know? Okay, so it said this president will be a conservative. Okay, what else do we need to know? There's something with abortion here. Because look at this. I don't know if this is appropriate wording, but if you look at a woman's genital area, it does have, and it does look like this. Like the valves and stuff like that. It's like a bead shape, I think, with tubes. Do not hold me to it. I'm not a woman, but it does look like that. This is very conservative as of right now. What else do we need to know? Again, white supremacy. White supremacy is a challenge to this president. Again, here we have the question of karmic destiny. Something's happening with the election. It's karmic destiny, divine timing, something divine timing. We won't know yet. We're not going to be known for. Something's going to be revealed. There needs to be an investigation to the voter suppression. If not, the Republicans will hold on to power and the presidency. So as of right now, if the voter suppression bill, you can guarantee a Republican will be president in the next 4 years. So there's that. All right. Normally, you're supposed to be a Democrat. That's only with a free and fair election, of course. What is the sentiment around a minority Democratic voter in 2022? After the final midterm election is completed, do they feel happy or disenfranchised, perhaps? This is kind of allowing me to be able to get into the mind of a minority voter, a Democratic voter, and to kind of see what are they feeling after the midterm results come out. Remember, the Democrats need to hold on to the House and the Senate, or nothing will be passed in the next 2 years, and Biden will be known as the lame duck president. So let's see. What is the sentiment around a minority Democratic voter who voted for the Democratic Party in 2022 midterms? With the final results, how are they feeling? How are they feeling with the final results? Can I have the final outcome? Can you give me Trump? And what's the first card? It's the sun. Okay, that's weird. We have the wills here reversed too. This is the one I was looking at. Let me just see if I can get like an answer, like a straight yes or no. How is the guy who voted, like a minority voter who voted for the Democratic Party in the 2022 midterms, how is he or she feeling after the midterm results has been known? Okay. 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 Alright, there's too many cards. These are all of them flipped. And I'm not reading that many. Like they wanted me to read all of these, and I'm not reading them. Alright. Why? What is going on with these cards today? Alright, so we have time up. We have up here. What else do we need to know? How is this person going to be feeling in the 2022 midterms? Okay. Alright, we got it. We got what we needed. Oh, this is not good. Alright, so we have here the Democrats and the Republicans will do poorly in the midterm election. Both of them will do poorly. The question is who does poorer? And the person who does poorer necessarily doesn't mean that they lose the most seats, but it could also mean in terms of the popular vote. Remember, the Democrats need a big majority in terms of the popular vote to maintain the House and the Senate. The question is Republicans don't need that. They only need 23 million and then win the House and the Senate. Yeah, just self-explanatory. We have here as well as they aren't going to come out, the minorities aren't going to come out in droves, especially the Democratic voters, because they don't have a lot of anger. It's not about Trump anymore. It's about Biden. We have here time is going to tell, but time is not ticking just yet. It's ticking soon. We have here, it's all about the suburban people, the people in the suburb that will decide ultimately who will get what. We have here the feminine and masculine challenge, the divide between the men and the women and the ideology differences. We have here right now the result is unpredictable, but whatever party does better is the party that's going to go up. So they are going to improve. So whether this is the GOP and they get the seats and they gain the House and the Senate, or this could be the Democratic Party and they gain seats, right? We have here, it's not going to be by the slimmest majority or the slimmest narrowest margin. However, it's not going to be as partisan as it was. However, the government as of right now is not going to prevail, which means that it feels as if right now it looks like the GOP will win the midterms. Yeah, it looks like the GOP is going to win the midterms. Biden's time with the Democrats are over. Yeah, it's over. It looks like as if the Democrats, as of right now, with this everything going on as of currently right now, please know this is just for entertainment purposes only. But with the current energy going into the 2022 midterms, it looks like if the GOP will win the House and potentially the Senate as well. So just that. All right. So are the Republicans paving the way for Trump to smoothly win re-election, or is this a start of something worse? And what I mean basically is that by having these voter suppression bills, in Arizona, they're trying to pass a law that said that the governor or like the people in the state legislators can reject the people's votes if they've deemed unfit, basically put. So the question is, Georgia's doing it, Arizona's doing it. Any state that Biden have won that's within more of a conservative ideology standpoint is doing this bill, which means that the Democrats would never have any chance in those seats of winning them ever again. And that will put them in a disadvantage in both the Senate and the House, just so you guys know that. All right, so spiel to the answer, Tommy. Are the Republicans paving the way for Trump to smoothly win re-election? Is this a way for the Republicans to smoothly make Trump win re-election? Because remember, like I said, they only need to switch the election results by 0.5% and Trump wins the election. Again, I told you Trump is not going to be around. Like, he's going to be here in the primary, but it looks like he passes away. We have Biden here in the past, right? We have Biden here, right? We have Trump end up leaving the party. He has to leave. He had no choice, right? He's going to end up feeling betrayed in some degree because some of them are like, the GOP is going to reject him. Whatever that means is that it feels like these are like, Ben Sasso type of Republican. They're going to end up turning their back against him because they're going to undergo some sort of awakening, like understanding, a deeper understanding, right? We do have here, again, if there could potentially be a third-party situation. We do have here, they end up losing the president. They end up losing the person that they swore to defend and protect. But let's just ask what this the start of something was. I'm almost done, I promise. It just the start of something was. It just the start of something was. Again, we have here is that if this happens, you can almost guarantee the next challenge for Biden is the impeachment trial. They're going to try to impeach him just for trying to extend voting rights bills. Will it be successful? If the bill does get passed to allow voter suppression, Biden will be impeached. If the bill gets passed to help extend voting rights, then Biden will be fine and it will not happen and Biden will be acquitted. Or the impeachment trial will not even begin. But as of right now, Biden needs to ensure that this actually gets passed. All right, we have two more. This is the next question, and that's it. Will the Democrats be able to get H.R. 1 bill to be passed in the Senate by 60 votes? If not, will they be able to remove the filibuster? Basically, what this bill is the extension of the Voter Rights Act, extending the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Will the Democrats be able to pass the H1 bill to be passed in the Senate by 60 votes? It's a golden opportunity. I heard it's a golden opportunity, but no. They're not going to do it. They're not going to be able to. If they're not going to be able to will they be able to remove the filibuster then? If they can't get the 60 votes needed, will they remove the filibuster? Now, remember, I said that the bill ended up getting passed to some degree by Kamala Harris by a simple majority. Again, okay, I know exactly what this is. Okay, so we have here Ms. McConnell, the Republicans and the GOP holding on to the filibuster. However, something happened. This is the filibuster here getting removed, and enlightenment, and it begins. And again, the GOP will have no choice, and that they don't need to depend on these senators anymore, and they're going to end up passing in the future the Voter Rights Act. Remember, they only have 2 years to do this. They need to do this. Otherwise, the Democrats will never win another election. If the Democrats are unsuccessful in passing these laws, what is the future of the Democratic Party? Will it ever gain power again? The Spirits Angel tell me, if the Democrats are unsuccessful in extending the Voter Rights Act of 1965, the John Lewis bill, what is the future of the Democratic Party? Oh, this is not good cards. Okay, so it does feel like the future of the Democratic Party is actually not too bad. We have here, they won't be upset in the past. They won't have enough votes, though. They won't have enough votes. However, they won't feel betrayed. They won't feel betrayed because at least they tried for some reason. We have here unpredictability with the president. They will cause unpredictability with the Biden administration or Kamala Harris if she chose to run, or another Democrat for that matter. And it will be undetermined whether or not they will ever win again. And here we have the election. And we have here the GOP, deception, lies, deceit. And we have here, it doesn't look like the Democratic Party will indeed win again. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like they're going to win if they don't pass this bill. This is why it's so important, because if they don't pass this, it's almost out-brainer, like it's done, it's over. Will the Democratic Party ever gain power again? Will the Democratic Party ever gain power again if they don't pass this bill? We have here, Biden's he's not new to Washington. However, we have the White House right in the middle. What we have here, the conservative or GOP, it's going to be down to some degree. Right, we have here the full reverse, which tells me that they won't. This is a new generation. The new generation is going to do something. My generation. We have here, the question is, will they come out and vote? And that's going to change and alter the way America is. Will they come out and vote for the Democratic Party? This will kind of feel like the young people are going to be like, F the government, like, there's no point in me voting. You know what I mean? That's the kind of sentiment that I sense right now. All right, so now for the last part of this reading is your little angelic reading today. So we have here embrace the feminine. It's a number 10. So 10 may mean something to you, right? Maybe March 10th. For example, we do have here, this is in reverse, which tells me that you guys need to embrace the motherhood. Embrace the feminist side. You know, it's okay to like dress up. It's okay to feel pretty on the inside. You are in essence a beautiful mythical being, and you should treat yourself as such. You are gorgeous. Look how gorgeous this person is. And look, you hold the key to your own talent. You have your own intuition. Just you need to open up your love, your heart chakra. So for some of you guys, this may be about your unconditional love. You guys may need to be caring to yourself. Work on self-love. Work on self-care. For some of you guys, it may be about loving another, loving your partner. You know, treating yourself right, walking in nature, exercising potentially. There's a lot that you need to do today and in the future, and this is just telling you what you need to focus on. So hopefully it is a quick little thing that you guys do enjoy. I am considering making a very second channel, so if you are of course interested in that, let me know in the description below. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a very beautiful night, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Bye. Love you.